Well, folks, thanks for joining us here on Kare 11 Plus. We're going to be streaming our weather minds or whatever. I'm meteorologist Jamie Kagol, meteorologist Ben Dery, and we always have a lot to talk about.
Yes, and for the next 15 minutes, you get to hear us chat about everything weather and sometimes a little side dish as well.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know, this June has been super warm. I don't know about you, but it has been ridiculously warm. Finally starting to see that take a back seat, and I don't see those like super warm temperatures returning anytime soon.
No, it's going to be a stretch. Sometimes you talk about, hey, we get a little cool down, a little change of the season here for a day or two. You're like, oh, make the most of it. This is going to be a stretch.
Yeah.
This is going to be, it looked like it'd be a better part of a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, of cooler than average temperatures, especially considering, we just looked at this, it has been the fourth warmest start to June on record.
I believe that too.
Fourth warmest on record, and now we're going to be entering a bit of a transitional period. But let's talk weather today, because we do have some potentially impactful weather that we'll be moving through. It's just rain showers. That's really the main headline today. It's going to be a showery day, especially midday into the afternoon hours. No severe weather is expected. We might hear a rumble or two of thunder later this afternoon, but again, nothing severe. And we'll probably pick up between a quarter and a third of an inch of rainfall today. There's radar. You can see it's a little busier further south. More of a stratiform rain forming west and southwest of the Twin Cities, so wet conditions through lunchtime and into the afternoon. A lot busier further south. We were watching several Boeing segments cross through Iowa. In fact, earlier this morning, just south and east of Omaha, Nebraska, there were 90-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts reported. There's been numerous tornadoes reported with this system, as well as widespread wind damage. So wild conditions down there, Jamie. Yeah,
it reminds me of, it's got to be a better part, 2 weeks ago. You and I were streaming for about 3 hours on an evening. I think it was a Sunday evening, and you probably came in the next morning.
Yeah, that's right.
But we watched this same thing play out, where we had storms moving better part of 50, 60 miles an hour across Iowa, while it was a little quieter for our I-90 corridor. So again, reminiscent of that, even just a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, can you imagine 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and you have tornado warnings going off?
Yeah, good wake-up
That's
call,
a sign that maybe you just want to stay in bed and start things over later on. But look at the severe weather outlooks there.
Yeah, that's a moderate risk for severe weather. Those are, not uncommon, but they can be rare. We don't see those every day. Moderate risk for severe weather that covers the eastern corner of Iowa, far southern Wisconsin, and northern Illinois. And by the way, Illinois has been dealing with severe weather. A lot of it so far this season. They had a bit of a lull, but you can certainly see the severe weather outlook is going to pick up again.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Illinois, at least early on in the season, they had the most tornado warnings, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know if they still do.
We'll have to double check that, but yeah, it was a crazy amount, and there certainly will be another chance for that happening today. So the good news for us is we are on the quieter side of this system, so the severe weather is going to stay to our south. Let's watch microcast, and you can see it does get a little wet through lunchtime. This is 11 o'clock, that light but steady rain moving through the Twin Cities. By mid to late afternoon, maybe a few rumbles, but I don't think we'll see anything too crazy. Certainly no severe weather is expected today, and the cloudiness and the threat for rain will keep our temperatures much, much cooler than really anything we've seen so far this month. This is 7 p.m. By this time, the rain wraps up for the Twin Cities. So if you have any outdoor sporting events, if you can, you might have to wait a little bit before you can get those games in. That's later this evening. We clear out after dark, and you can see it's nothing but sunshine heading into your Friday. So how much rain are we looking at? Well, it depends on where you live. This is the numbers. There you go, starting to populate again. A quarter inch looks pretty likely. I think we could see some locally higher amounts, but the trend is central and northern Minnesota going to miss out on the rainfall today. You head north of St. Cloud, very little rain today. It's the southern half of the state and into much of Wisconsin. That's where the wetter conditions are going to be. Here's your 7-day forecast, and what's interesting is we saw the warmest day of the season so far yesterday. It happened to be our first 90-degree day at MSP. We hit 91 degrees. Today is forecast to be the coolest day of the next 7 days. 72 today, scattered rain expected in the afternoon. We dry out heading into Friday. Looks like a nice way to wrap up the week. Forecast models were hinting at some quick hitting showers Friday evening. So if you have any backyard bonfires planned for Friday evening, just be prepared for that. It doesn't look widespread, and it should be pretty quick. Once we get into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, downright refreshing. I mean, low to mid 70s for highs, sunshine. Dare I say crisp conditions, Jamie.
Crisp will be one of the words people use to describe it. But again, we're going to watch dew points basically come out of the low 70s from yesterday, ending up in the 40s as we get into the weekend. I mean, you're talking, that's a completely different season, how it's going to feel outside. Yesterday, the dog days of summer, that heat, humidity, you feel it the moment you step out the door. Then you get into the weekend, and people are going to think that we're maybe back in early May.
Yeah.
With that kind of weather.
Or is summer over?
Or is summer over and fall's already here? Let's just hope the leaves don't start changing and get fooled by this cool weather we're going to have.
Short answer, no. But it is pretty shocking to see coming off of a lot of days in the 80s. I think every day so far this month, Jamie, every day so far has been 80 degrees or warmer. We had 91 degrees yesterday, and just one 80-degree day on that 7-day map. That's on Friday, and that's only because we're expected to see a bit more sunshine. I mean, 81 degrees is pretty seasonal for this time of year. Average high is in the upper 70s now.
Yeah, 78 versus an 81. Again, that's that's still going to be a relatively seasonal day tomorrow, overnight low of 58 and whatnot.
I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of sleeping in summertime heat. Our air conditioner has been going on nonstop. I feel like since mid-May, and finally you're allowed to kind of open the windows and let that fresh breeze in.
Yeah.
And at least the air conditioner is going to take a break, possibly over the next week or so.
Yeah, that's open windows weather right there. In fact, I don't know if you've received these. I actually got an email, one or two of them now, from XL Energy saying, your electric usage is actually up a bit even from last week. And I'm thinking, well, yeah. Have you not seen the weather we've had? So yeah, even the power company is telling me it's been hot as of lately. And the AC is, it's cranking.
No, of a fun weather note about today is today, at least statistically, in the Twin Cities, today, June 11th, is the wettest day of the year. So of the entire year, 365 days, it rains more often on this date than any other day of the year. We looked at the data. 47% of days, 47% of of June 11ths have recorded rainfall. So roughly 50%. So every other day of the year is less than that, which is interesting. The driest day of the year, February the 8th. I think
that's
it's
incredible.
18%.
Today is a literal coin flip for rain.
Statistically, you could flip a coin and say, is it going to rain? Yes or no. And of course, in true statistical fashion, it's going to rain.
It's going to rain. Yeah. I mean, that's coming close to a sure bet. But today, and again, showers, always the best way to get that moisture. Again, we were talking about, we saw the rainfall totals expected for today and how you could see that northern Minnesota is missing out. And again, the drought monitor, I didn't use it this morning because I wasn't sure if the data I didn't have a chance to see if it had updated because it comes out Thursday.
Usually about mid-morning.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how conditions have changed up north, but that's where drought has been a problem as of recent. And even southwest Minnesota, it looked like the Sioux Falls area was really seeing things seeing it worsen in that direction.
Yeah, like severe drought.
So next Thursday, we'll have to see how all the storms from the past couple of days and then what we get today, how that improves. So compare today's drought monitor to next Thursday, and hopefully we see some signs of improvement there.
So it has been busy. This is a look at the storm reports over the last 36 hours, and it came in two waves. We saw one wave early yesterday morning and then another wave yesterday afternoon and evening. The early morning stuff, we had lots of wind damage reports across far western Minnesota. I mean, we had trains that were, or a train that was derailed.
I did see that
out there with 80-plus-mile-an-hour winds. At least one tornado reported in Candy-Ojai County. And then in the afternoon, it was mainly about the hailers, but we did see some wind damage just across the river into Wisconsin. We saw some of that in and around Menominee and Eau Claire, and even around the cities. We saw some hail, some small hail downtown Minneapolis. I think it was like penny-sized hail.
Penny and pea-sized hail.
Up to golf ball-sized hail in my hometown, back in Chisago City.
Yeah, I saw reports yesterday. I was streaming yesterday when that storm was basically moving from Forest Lake, Chisago City direction, and observed reports, not radar indicated, but observed reports, inch to inch and a half size hail. And that storm, I mean, you could just see the radar reflectivity, bright purple. In fact, I heard from folks on Facebook Live when we were streaming that sounded the sirens.
Oh, yeah.
So I was watching in Arcadia, western Wisconsin. We had a tornado warning go off. Looked like textbook rotation when we looked at the insides of that storm. And then all of a sudden, someone on Facebook said, sirens are going off, Chisago City area. I jumped over there on the radar. No tornado warning. So again, that led me to believe that city officials decided to sound the alarm for inch and a half hail. I mean, they have that discretion.
Yeah, it's certain counties, certain cities, they decide whether they're going to issue or at least let the siren sound for just tornadoes, tornado warnings, or if it's both a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. And I think Chisago County is one of those that'll set the sirens for anything.
Yeah, inch and a half hail is, I mean, that's nothing.
That'll do some damage for sure.
Yeah.
But we're in that kind of transitional phase where no more severe weather is expected over the next probably at least week or so. And look at this change. This is the average high temperature over the past 7 days, 87 degrees. That was our average high temperature. That was capped off with yesterday's 91 degrees. And then the next 7 days, the average high drops to 75 degrees. With the coolest day arriving today. So a big temperature change there. Not only seeing the temperature change.
Nearly 20 degrees.
Yeah. 20-degree temperature change, and you can really feel the drop in dew point. Even though we have rain chances today, the dew point's in the 50s the next few days, and then, like you mentioned, Jamie, 40s as we head into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so yesterday we had, I think I saw Menominee have a dew point of 80 degrees.
Wow.
Which is absolutely oppressive.
That's just like you're swimming in the
air. It's gross. I think gross is a good way to describe it. But we had plenty of mid and upper 70s, and take a look as you get to Saturday going into Sunday, we could be talking about low 40s. So easily a 20 to 30 degree swing in your dew points. And that's that season change to the weather, coming out of dog days of summer into early spring. I think this weekend is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm excited for it. I think anyone who's put off those I put off the grass cutting until it was really muggy, and I regretted doing that. And now I'm thinking, this weekend might be a good day to maybe cut some grass.
Yeah, there you go. Any outdoor stuff. And of course, a lot of folks maybe head out to the cabin, head up north. If you do that this weekend, pack a sweater or a light jacket. Look at these. These are high temperatures that are forecast. So Friday is still kind of warm, but Saturday, especially up north, you're looking at highs in the 50s. That truly is going to feel like fall. So you think like, oh yeah, this weekend I'm going to go up north, I'm going to jump in the lake or something. It's not really a kind of a lake jumping in weekend.
Now those you're going to get out of the lake and really feel it. I had to take a double take when I saw that graphic this morning. I thought, well, wait,
50s.
Because those were our lows. 60s were our lows in the past handful of days.
And you got to think, like, if you have a cabin up north and you use it, chances are it might not have the greatest air conditioning.
Yeah.
So you kind of almost hope for this
or the
kind of
greatest
stuff.
heat.
Yeah, so that's up north. Around the Twin Cities, we'll see warmer conditions, but still seasonably cool. Lots of sunshine expected both Saturday and Sunday. Feeling almost crisp as we head into Sunday. I mean, 73 degrees is kind of interesting. And also, we don't really have a great chance for rain this weekend in what's statistically, again, the wettest time of year.
Yeah.
June is a pretty wet month, and especially the middle 2 weeks of June tend to be pretty wet as well. Rain showers today, maybe another quick hitting shot at rain Friday evening, but then staying dry. And again, seasonably cool all the way through the middle part of next week.
And we're supposed to average about an inch of rain, inch plus of rain a week this time of year. And so when you see a 7-day forecast like that, that is just astounding. That's the complete opposite of what you would expect. If you had to think ahead, like, hey, what's June going to look like? And you kind of paint with a broad stroke here, you would never put together a week like that for the month of June.
So when it comes to these weather stretches, I mean, Do you prefer these longer stretches, like a longer stretch of 80-degree days followed by a longer stretch of cooler weather? Or would you rather have like some frequent differences, like 70 here, then 80, then 90, then 70?
I like to acclimate, so I like a stretch like this. I'm not a fan of the humidity. I don't need the high humidity, but dew points in the 50s, temperatures mid, basically our average numbers right there. Those are great numbers for me.
Yeah, sure.
Upper 70s this time of year, overnight lows dipping down into the 50s. There's nothing wrong with that in my book.
Nothing wrong with this
forecast. Those are great numbers.
Enjoy the weekend. We do expect sunshine and, again, dry air, and it'll stay cool through next week.